was 99. There was snow on the ground. When the call came in, I knew something was wrong. I made my way to the station. Then I waited and waited and waited for the train, for the train, for the train, for the train. wish I could step on and ride. Got a ticket in my hand, ready for the night. I've been waiting for the perfect time. All the things I want, all the things I need. When the train comes, that's when I there's a train in the distance. It's coming fast. I'm looking for the car that's first class. I'ma keep my head up, 'cause I know it won't be long. It might be in a year, or it might be in a song. All the things I want, all the things I need. When the train comes, that's when I'll leave. Trains. In the quiet before the noise begins, you found your way here through the day you've been in. Whatever way you carry through the door, you don't have to carry it anymore. Look around at everyone beside you. Every single one of them has been there too. You're not a stranger here, you never were. This is your place, this is where you belong. I see you, I see you, I feel you, we feel you. You are loved, you are loved. I need you, we need you. Believe it, believe it. You are loved, you You don't have to be okay to show up here. You don't have to have it figured out. Bring the chaos, bring the quiet, bring the fear. That's what this place is all about. Every light in here was once where you were, finding something real in the dark. You're not too much, you're not too small. You're exactly right, exactly as you are. I see you, I see you, I feel you, we feel you. You are loved, you Stop! Squirrel Station! If you're here, you're already late! Trains moving anyway! No rails, no rules, no plan, full speed chaos. Here we stay off track. Good, let's go. This train runs on overload. All aboard, let it ride. No brakes, full send, full drive. Stack the cars, watch it grow. Trains rolling. Let's go. Keeping it right is Schuster McGee. He got the hammer, fuck around and see. Damn it, Dan breaks it once, breaks it all, and does it again. We bringing chaos all over town. If you can't see them, just look down. Mods in chat, hold the line. Oh, don't. Insanity works just fine. Something's coming. Feel that sound. Tracks don't hold up. We don't slow down. Energy spikes. Systems blow. Next drop hits. Brace for the show. All aboard. Let it ride. No brakes. Full send, full drive. Stack the cars. Watch it grow. Trains rolling. Let's go. All aboard. Hit the gas. No control. We don't last. Break the track. Let it go. Trains rolling. Let's go. All aboard!
Let's get nuts.
Hey, fuck you!
Trans rights are human rights, and if you don't agree, you can fuck off.
First and foremost, let me open by saying happy birthday to our polar bear mama. Is celebrating 29 and holding forever for the rest of time. Or finally paint my bathroom. I mean, yeah, never mind. The train, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know why it's not showing, because all of the data is running perfectly fine. As for why it is not showing in OBS, I don't know. So, if you're wondering where the train went, it's in the station for the day, I guess, maybe? I don't know. I'll periodically try and get it to reset, and we'll see what happens from there. Anyway, just know that it's still around. Yeah, apparently it derailed. At least the trains are on time. I mean, ish, or something. Something like that. In the yard for maintenance. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I don't know. It might be that I haven't restarted my computer since the last stream, so maybe that's the problem. I don't know. It very well could be. It very well could be. You never know. Still kicking. Good.
I smile.
Good, good, good.
And throttle up.
Aw. Thank you. So big shout out to those of you watching on Twitch, watching on YouTube. I was gonna do Facebook, but yeah, I apparently didn't have time while I was setting something up for a little bit later. Maybe slightly loaded reference.
Drink your water! Unclench your jaw! Take your meds! something yummy, motherfucker!
This is my hydration today. The 52-ounce Bucky's mug full of caramel iced coffee.
Light obeys.
Some of that dark humor that Travis talks about, we're good. Oh yeah, ignore me and Jay for legal reasons, we were joking. Yeah. Good news, my doc is going to treat my anxiety. Nice. Addict, minor detail, yeah. So I went out for lunch with my father, and he and I have a new favorite place that we like to go. It is a little Vietnamese restaurant downtown. If you're in the area, it's like a half block north of Superstore in that little strip mall. If you know, you know. No, not the ballet. Fuck that. I served my time, thank you. So yeah, we went and had lunch there, and we do have a new addiction. Speaking of which, Jared, is the Vietnamese iced coffee. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love Vietnamese iced coffee, and I forgot how much I loved it until I had it again today. Because the last time I saw him and we went for lunch was, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. And haven't had it since then. Holy shit, you want something that'll wake you up. Oh my. Get yourself a Vietnamese coffee. That will do it. That will absolutely make sure that you are alive and kicking and awake and good to go. My anxiety is definitely threatening me. I mean, fair enough. Can you guys hear the fans in the background today? Again, I tried to make sure that my noise reduction setting ensured that you guys could not hear the fans. Because at current, no fans? Okay, good. At current, it's a whopping 25 degrees, but it feels closer to 30. So, yeah, it's a little bit warm for this MS kid over here. Only the fans in the chat. Hey. Gemini. What is up? Let me see. What do we got here? Those of you who are patrons and members, I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys don't have access to either a free copy of the ebook for standard procedure or the full concert from Active Corrosion, let me know. Yeah. Oh, for those of you that are fans of Active Corrosion, their fourth album, entitled Capacity, is going live on July 24th. Fourth album will be out. Directly in our veins. I hope.
Black arcs on the scanner sweep.
Squishy demon hugs, yeah. That's right, only squirrels. If that link ever worked again, that'd be great, but it decided not to, so fuck it. Also, those of you that have been contributing, hey, thanks, I appreciate the shit out of that. Because, yeah, there's going to be, I'm going to be making a new thing in the near future. I'm going to be redoing the Amazon list. For reasons that I don't want to get into currently. Oh, no, wait, that's a dirty lie. That's something we already talked about on Wednesday. So, yeah, if you need a recap of that, let me know. I'll send you the clip notes. Go to Only Squirrels, you can see my nuts. That's true. If you go to Only Squirrels, what do you find?
These nuts.
Yes, you will.
Ha! Got him! Ha!
Perfect. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you much. Big sip of coffee out to you. Num, num, and num. All right, so today's topic, which I thought was rather fitting because there is brand new research that is out. That is disgusting, Nadia. Oh. While I think about it, before I get into the stream, hang on, I have to do a thing. Hang on. I need to do a thing. Ever so quickly. One sec. There we go. I forgot to open my Stream Elements dashboard. One second. One second. Hang on. Flash. Hang on. Hang on. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. 2, 3. There we go. Yada, yada, yada. Activate command. Alright, there we go. Jay, thanks to you. Do you want to try exclamation JASA and see if that works? Because it just occurred to me. Aw, Gemini! Oh, Jesus Christ, I just saw what Gemini did. You little bugger. Can I vent for a second? Yes, go ahead. We got time. Go ahead. And then we will get into our topic a little bit. Oh yeah, you dirty little shit, you. There we go. Bam. Yeah, it worked. All right, cool. For those of you that are interested in watching Jace's stream, she is a VTuber, a PNG tuber to be precise, and she would have streamed last night, but she was really tired and not feeling very well, so she went to bed very early. But yeah, she should be streaming tomorrow, provided she's feeling well. She'll probably be playing Deltarune tomorrow. And the best part of all of it is not only am I the main mod, but she voice acts all of the characters, so it is very entertaining. So if you're into that kind of thing, yeah, there's my kid. Weasel, what's going on? What's PNG? PNG, you know, it's the image type that removes the background, or that has transparency on it. It's like a VTuber, except she doesn't go full VTuber. It's just PNG with 4 different poses, something like that. Think of it like VTuber Lite. It's also a country, apparently. The country of which, you know, sounds like getting hit by a dodgeball. What's VTuber? It's like a YouTuber, but not, I guess. Sorry, I'm not funny. Anyway. And the boss. I need some neural spicy sympathy. I ordered groceries on Saturday during the heat wave. Got heat exhaustion, tried to put it all away, put it up in the freezer. So I spent Monday and Thursday in bed completely wiped out and in an anxiety storm. So last night I spent 2 hours cleaning out the fridge and kitchen of spoiled food. Well, that sucks. That sucks ass. All aboard the bus. That sounds very dirty. And yes, it is ADHD tax at its finest. It absolutely is. I'm pretty sure the vast majority of us have had to deal with tossing out spoiled food that we completely forgot about because there was like a jar of pickles in front of it, which means that all of a sudden it didn't exist anymore. You just saw a jar of pickles and not the bag of apples sitting behind it, right? Something like that. Yeah. All you do is focus on the one thing and the rest of it doesn't exist anymore. And pickles never go bad. Ain't that the bloody truth? Or at least they never seem to. Papua New Guinea is an island. Okay, I guess I'll give you that one, Nadia. You can have that one. Alright. Let's get into it, shall we? Gotta throw those out too. They last forever and a fucking day, I'll tell you that though. At least the ones around here do, the homemade ones. So, today's topic, as you can see in the chat, 3 customers at once. Here we go. Now that I started streaming, Jay is going to get all of the customers. All of them. Hutchie Mom, how's it going? All right. As you can see by the title, today we are talking about, does Tylenol cause autism or ADHD? Because there is a brand new 700,000 person study. Boom! Oh, fuck, Gemini, you just about knocked the cup over. Just about. So close.
Detecting coward protocol.
Yeah, Jay, turn off the red light.
Initializing.
Because the Cheeto Overlord... No, it's not even him. It's the brainworm-riddled fucking leather couch-faced idiot. But yeah, there was a brand new study that came out last week. A 700,000 person study. If you're watching on YouTube, all of the resources... My cup is my nemesis. All of the resources you will find in the description on YouTube. I have got too many papers to pin them up in the chat here. So on Twitch, if you guys want the resources, I will be happy to send them to you. All right. So. Same as what we say paracetamol is. I do believe. Oh, thanks, Jay. By the way, Substack, I'm still taking a few more days away from that before I get back into doing the articles. I will be restarting on Monday. I've already got a list of topics that I'm going to be covering, of new studies that have come out in the last week. I'm not going to spoil anything. Acetaminophen and paracetamol are the same thing, yes. Yeah, they just have different names. Right, it's the same as like Vyvanse and Elvance kind of thing. Right, same idea. There might be a couple slight little fucking tiny ingredient difference, but essentially the same thing. Anyway, so opening this thing up itself, okay? No long-winded wind up on this one. Something's been going on the feeds all year long. Devil, have yourself a good sleep. Elvance? Well, not quite. And that's that Tylenol during pregnancy supposedly causes autism. Today, we are going to look at the actual data behind it. Why? Because that's how we do around here. Peer-reviewed scientific information, not the words of some brain-riddled fuckwit who wants to put everybody on a list. Data over dogma, yes. My mom didn't take Tylenol, just vodka. Mine did Coke. So, first time check-in. If this is your first time, say hi in the chat. First and foremost, tell us where you're watching from. This is a research to practice space. Okay? We read the actual papers instead of just the fucking headlines. Why? Because we are intelligent human beings over here. And when we say we do our research, we don't mean we watch a stupid uncle's fucking post on Facebook that, that claimed that chemtrails and Tylenol are causing autism and whatnot. So yeah, we actually do the research over here. If you got a problem with that, you're obviously not cut out to be a part of this crew. And we're okay with that. You can pound sand. We're fine with that. If you do consider yourself a semi-intelligent individual whose definition of doing research is actually finding peer-reviewed sources, then you're not only a good duck. Here's someone repeatedly with a hammer. Wow. That is indeed dark. I'm the only one struggling to drop the music. Can I drop the music a bit? Yep. Music down. There we go. I am a problem. I identify as a problem, yeah. Everyone has a fucked opinion about I was doing wrong to manage my ADHD. Surely I shouldn't need meds at 55. You would think, right? Or they would think, even though they don't know. Coaching disclaimer, just a reminder here. that said out loud, I am a coach, I am not a clinician. Just need to say that out loud to remind everybody that even though I have it listed, I do repeat it all the time, right? Today is about evidence and not how to read it, not medical advice for your specific situation. As always, I'm a double certified ADHD and autism coach. I am not a professional. I am not a diagnostician. I am not a doctor. All right? Take what I say, even with a grain of salt. If you think I am wrong, say so. However, if you do that, bring the facts, right? I am more than happy to be wrong. I am more than happy to be corrected. If I'm wrong, bring the receipts. Cool? Cool. We're going to touch a little bit on parental guilt today. So just kind of a heads up on that. Health anxiety around pregnancy, and a claim that got very tangled up in the politics, all right? No judgment in this space. However, someone handled a decision with the let's try that again. There is no judgment in this space for however someone handled a decision with the information they had at the time. Okay? So if they were given bad information once, and they went with it, we're not here to judge that. That happens, right? This goes back to, do your research properly. All right? So, question for all of you before we get deep diving into it. Where did you first hear the Tylenol and autism claim? Was it news? Was it social media? Was it a family member? If you heard that bullshit, where did you hear it from? Time to run. All right, Dan. Fine, I get it. That's fine. I'm not hurt. Facebook, years ago. You heard it years ago on Facebook, really? That's interesting. Everywhere fuckstick is big fancy desk talking shit, yeah. That'll do it. No, it wasn't even his big fancy desk at the time. He was standing there at a podium with a leather-faced brainworm beside him and fucking with the Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Odd, maybe. Okay, so a lot of that. See, I heard inklings of it a couple of years ago, where it was going around based on a Facebook post. I did a video. Oh no, Jared, that's fine. I mean, Jay can get away with it. So can I. Correction, since you asked your professional, since you're certified, not just medical professional, distinction, I felt worth saying. I mean, maybe. That's debatable. Yeah, that's right. Don't worry about it. Jay's got a sword and he's going to use that to defend you. Jay's got you covered. Jay pays you to get away with it? Yeah. All right, so a lot of people basically saying news, social media, that kind of thing. All right. Okay, so let's move on to segment number 2, that being the headlines, what the new study actually found. All right. So again, if you're on Facebook, all of the resources are in the description. If you're on Twitch, sorry, it's a lot of stuff. If you want the sources, send me a DM and I will send you a stack of papers, quite literally. I've been hearing from people, lots of people, good people. Some of them are good, some are excellent. Not all, but not all people are excellent. In the same way, every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square. I hear you. Okay, so the paper, one of the primary ones that I'm pulling from, it's use and the risk of autism and or ADHD among sibling matched cohorts is the name. It's a mouthful, but that's the I can't hear his voice. But that's the name of the paper. It was published June 29th, of 2026, so 2 weeks ago. Another one is the Hong Kong Hospital Authority. Information from 2001-2023. The Universal Health System, so it's not a small volunteer sample, right? It takes place over 22 years. The starting cohort, 708,020 mother and child pairs. About 43% of them had paracetamol prescription recorded during pregnancy. So essentially the same thing as Tylenol, acetaminophen, or as my wife calls it, acid muffins. Is it not called research and cross-referencing? Which part? The part where you're looking something up and verifying it against something else? Yeah, that'd be research and cross-referencing. So of these 708,020 mother and child pairs, researchers built 2 sibling matched groups, 124,333 kids assessed for autism, 97,285 assessed for ADHD. All of the families where one sibling was exposed prenatally and the other one was not. So the results: autism, adjusted hazard ratio, and I'll explain that in a second. The adjusted hazard ratio of 1.0. Let me see, 95% was to 1.11. ADHD, 95% was 0.93 to 1.08. Okay, so there's a lot of numbers that I just spouted off. Let me explain what they meant. So when I say hazard ratio, this is something that they use in these papers. A hazard ratio compares how often something happens in one group versus another, okay? And that's over time. So it is a rate comparison, not just a single snapshot of things, okay? So picture a number line, okay, where 1.0 is sitting dead in the center, and that's the no difference at all mark. Okay, so if something's hazard ratio is 1.00, that means there's no difference. Whereas above 1 leans more towards risk in the exposed groups. So a hazard ratio of 2.00 would mean that it's roughly double the risk. Whereas something 0.5 would mean it's roughly half the risk. Okay, does that make sense? Are you guys following along? Because I read this hazard ratio shit in these papers all the time, and it tends to confuse me. So I wanted to make sure that when if and when I'm spouting these numbers, that you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. So hazard ratio of 1 means no difference. 2 would mean double the rate. 0.5 would mean half the rate. Left the decimal bad, right of the decimal less bad? Sure. If that's how you want to look at it. I'm not sure how to take that, but okay. So, you know, if you flip a coin 100 times and 50 got heads, that means that it'd be a 0.5 hazard ratio. Anyway. What was the paper again? There are a couple of ones that I'm pulling from here. And again, Mama, if you want, I will send you the links to them. One is prenatal acetaminophen use and the risk of autism and or ADHD among siblings matched cohorts. It's a mouthful. But it was published 2 weeks ago in the JAMA Internal Medicine, or in JAMA Internal Medicine. The second one is Hong Kong Hospital Authority data from 2001 to 2023. So those are the 2 right now that I'm pulling from. There you go. I tend to kink encourage. Yes, we do. We kink question or kink encourage. It depends on what the kink is, I guess, and how we feel about it. Found it? Well, I mean, worst case scenario, if you want the actual link, go look on the YouTube live stream in the description, because they're all linked in there, right? So worst case scenario, instead of waiting on me, If you really want to look and you really want to follow along, go to the YouTube live stream and get the links out of there. If you're feeling impatient. All right. Just checking the time here. What do we got? I could probably power through this. Okay, so the methodology, why the sibling match design is the whole point of this. Okay? This is the part that actually matters more than the headline number, so stick with me on this. The core problem in health research is that correlation is not causation, which is something that we need to remember overall when it comes to a lot of this shit. Correlation is not causation. Just because the number of people that died from rattlesnake bites in the state of Arizona from, July to August is the same number of people that choked to death while having a Slurpee. Okay, is there a correlation to that? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they had a Slurpee right before they went out and got bit by a snake. Is that a causation? No. No, it is not. You like that little description that I just whipped up out of nowhere? So the core problem in the health research is that moms who take Tylenol, rattlesnakes like Slurpees, especially blood infected with Slurpees. Because Slurpees are now a blood infection. Anyway, so the core problem in this health research, again, correlation, not causation. Moms who take Tylenol are not a random slice of moms. Okay, autism has roughly 80% heritability. ADHD has around 74%. Again, this is bearing in mind, or this is taking into consideration both parents who have it. Stung by a bee after I ate a grape. There you go. Smell of Slurpee attract snakes. There you go. That could have been the causation. Perhaps. Was it the only causation? Maybe it was somebody fucking stepped where they shouldn't have. Who knows? So anyway, autism, again, taking into consideration both parents are autistic, there was an 80% heritability rate. ADHD has around 74% with both parents. Genetics has already done most of the work before you even get to the medication, right? Before mom even took a Tylenol while baby Jared was there in the fucking womb, the fact that there was the genetics, they were doing their job before the meds even got incorporated. Sorry, Jared, I just felt like using you as an example. So a regular cohort study compares different families to each other. So mom A took Tylenol, mom B didn't take Tylenol. Look at their kids, right? The problem, mom A and mom B might differ in 100 other ways, be it health conditions, genetics, stress, environment, access to care, any of the other things could be. Yeah, I know you're an example. I identify as a problem. I identify as your problem. But anyway, so there are 100 different things that could have been between mother A and mother B, right? So the sibling matched design compares two kids from the same mother, right? So mom A took Tylenol with baby 1, did not take it with baby 2, right? So one was exposed, one was not. Same genetics, mostly the same household, right? Things can change in between. But mostly the same everything except direct exposure to Tylenol. Okay, so if Tylenol actually, there's my 4 o'clock metal alarm. If Tylenol actually caused autism or ADHD, that effect would show up just as strong within the families as between the families, right? So, and what I mean by that is it would show just as profoundly between mom A who had the 2 kids, one had it, one without, and mom B who had 2 kids, one with it, one without, right? So that data would show up just as strongly between those. And it doesn't. If it's, why did I put confounding? Anyway, the within family comparison should shrink it towards nothing if it's not. When you hear a quote that sounds unreasonable or ridiculous, but you are unsure and wonder, do the appropriate research and cross-reference it with similar types of research to see if the results hold up. Yep. Shut up a second. I will take the meds on the self-care break, which is in 6 minutes. But thank you. I just want to get through this real quick. So what actually happened in this exact data set? So it showed, and this is where we're going to get back to the numbers, okay? What it showed is the autism, hazard ratio for autism was 1.17. So remembering that 1.00 is nothing, and 2 is double the rate, autism showed up at 1.17, so 17%. ADHD was 1.23, so 23%. So real numbers looking real scary, but sibling matched analysis on that same population, both flattened to essentially 1.0. So anyone who wants that in the plain language version, comparing random kids from different houses tells you a lot less than comparing two siblings raised in the same house. So essentially, what they are showing there, when you take all of the data into consideration, it pretty much flattens down to essentially 1.00. Does that logic make sense to you guys? Do you understand? And I tried really hard to take these and make them as easily understandable as I could, but I also needed to include the actual data and sourcing. So does this make sense to you, what I have said so far? I'll try and plain language it again here one more time. Okay? Just to be sure. Correction amongst those of us who know how it works, right? But that's the thing, right? I'm not going to assume and pretend that everybody here has the same understanding, right? Which, again, is why I wanted to make sure that you guys understood what the hazard ratio was, right? Because there was a lot of that in the information that I went through. Can't really round a hazard 170% is fucking minuscule. Well, thing is, like, when they took the sibling matched analysis on the same population, it essentially, now it wasn't perfect, but it essentially flattened down to 1.00. But yes, 17% incident rate is pretty minuscule overall, right? And the thing is, that's correlation is not causation, right? This is also, that 17% is not just she took Tylenol, so 17% of mothers who take Tylenol are going to end up with autistic kids, right? This is not taking into consideration their environment, their stresses, their other medical conditions. It's not taking into account the genetics that are already at work there, right? So 17%, not really a scary number in and of itself, depending on what you're looking at. But I mean, that doesn't take anything else into consideration. So, there is that. All right. So, why don't we take this opportunity here? Story Mage, are you confused? Before we do the self-care break, I want to make sure the Story Mage is on board with us here. Hoshi, are you still there? Are you understanding? Sorry, I haven't seen anything out of you in a little bit. I want to make sure I didn't put you to sleep. But Story Mage seems to be a little confuzzled. Was it about what I was saying, or was it about the fact that it could just mean 17% of the mothers? I just returned. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Long story short, correlation is not causation. I think that pretty much can be summed up as the takeaway from all of this. Correlation is not causation. Yeah. If anybody else wants to sum it up in easier words, for Story Mage while we're doing a self-care break, then knock yourselves out, because now it is time to get yourself some water or a snack or a refill on your iced coffee. Thankfully, mine is big enough that I could go swimming in it and not have to worry about that. So, do that. Grab a drink, grab a snack, go to the bathroom, pet your dog, check your dishes, wish Mama a happy birthday. Other than that,
After these messages, we'll be right back.
uno momento, I love.
Black is the color of the space around you. Black is the color of the life you lead. Black is the color of your life you lead. Lost in the infinite. In the infinite void. Can you hear me? Do you read me? Do you feel me? Can you see me? Black is the color of the space around you. Black is the color of the life you lead. Black is the color of the space around you. Black is the color of
right. But yeah, it doesn't cause autism. Yeah, more or less. More or less. It's the genetics that you gotta worry about, not the fucking Tylenol. Which is a great segue into our next segment. Someone accused me of being like this, because jeans, I showed them, I dropped my pants. It's funny you say that after your little board last night. But yeah, it doesn't cause autism. It's the genetics that you mostly have to worry about, which, as I was saying, is a great segue into our next section that I lovingly titled How Tylenol Causes Autism Became a Political Claim. That's right, you are being witty. Look at you. Okay. So, just to... I'm not here to relegate politics. This time. That's a lie. I probably will. We've all met me. I tend to mouth off every now and again. But I'm just laying out the sequence so it makes sense in context, okay? Even though it does not make sense at all. But contextually, according to the headlines. In 2025, a prominent political statement from the U.S. president raised alarm about Tylenol use in pregnancy and autism risk. This is directly acknowledged in the new paper's own introduction as part of why they did this study. So, congratulations, you fucking dumbass, fat fucking Cheeto idiot. Your words prompted a study. Good job. Just to completely negate everything that you said because you're a fucking stupid asshole. Oh, sorry, I said I wasn't going to relegate it into politics. Oh well, my bad. Anyway, so this study, again, directly acknowledges what he said, and its own introduction listed that as part of the reason why they were doing it. So, regulatory bodies responded fairly quickly, thankfully. The UK's Medicines and Healthcare Products and Products Regulation Agency, that's a mouthful, put out a statement on September 22nd of 2025 confirming that paracetamol, aka acetaminophen, aka Tylenol, you know, all those words that he can't fucking say anyway, remains safe in pregnancy with no evidence that it causes autism. The World Health Organization issued its own statement 2 days later on September 24th, 2025, reaffirming the exact same position. So you had a high-profile claim on one side and existing regulatory consensus pushing back on the other. And not a lot of new large-scale data settling it either way, unfortunately. And that was the gap that this study and a few others were built to close. Is the fact that, yes, acid muffins. Efficacy. There you go. So, keep this in mind for later. Okay, the existence of a claim repeated a lot does not mean the evidence behind it is strong. Because, you know, that's how dictatorship works. But that's true regardless of who is making the claim. Which is something important that I want all of you to remember, when it, not just when it comes from some ass clown sitting behind a desk, okay? It is also some ass clown with his phone walking around and telling you that the world is on fire because red pandas took over southern Australia, right? Proof. Bring the receipts. Just because you said it and you keep saying it and you convince other people to keep saying it does not make it true. Okay, so bear that in mind. Don't blame the red pandas. Yeah, I know. It wasn't them who instigated it. I know. They're so fucking fast. I'm just picking on Nadia at this point. Leonardo's like, what the fuck, dude? So, when this claim came out from douchebag McFucker claiming that Tylenol caused autism, did that claim change anything about how you or someone you know handled pain or fever during pregnancy? No pressure to add, no pressure to answer. I'm just curious how far this bullshit actually traveled. So if you knew somebody or you yourself happened to be pregnant at the time, did this change how you or another person handled how they deal with pain or fever when they were pregnant? Nobody in my circle seemed to have been affected by it, thankfully. I'm bipolar, get it down. Fair enough. Haven't known anybody pregnant since bullshit. That's fair. You know, it'd be a good... No, she was pregnant beforehand. I don't know the closely convinced exchange anything myself. I have an aunt who took it seriously. Thankfully, I was already desexed. Desexed. You were already spayed or neutered to help prevent, control the pet population. Thanks, Bob Barker. It did come up at work, and I quickly put that to rest. Wolf. I started injecting bleach and light. That's what I started to do. All right, so let's look at some other papers that I've got here. Okay, converging evidence from Sweden, Norway, Japan, and Taiwan. Hi, V. So, first, I'll put this out. One study is one study. Right? As we were saying earlier about comparing it against other things. One study is one study. What actually builds confidence is when independent teams, different countries, different populations, they all keep landing in the same spot when they do these studies. So Sweden, according to, let me see, JAMA in 2024, about 2.5 million Swedish children. I remember actually this study kept getting referenced right after dumbfuck there decided he was going to drop this. But about 2.5 million children, sibling compared, same null result. Okay, so this is a big one that came out first and set the pattern. You're supposed to ingest the light? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, or somehow get it internally. So I guess that's a thing. Yeah, if you can get the UV light into your body somehow. So, yeah, I remember very distinctly, actually, I'm pretty sure that we have talked about it, and I have referenced it before, is that Swedish study of about 2.5 million kids. Glow stick suppository. That'll do it, yeah. In Norway, back in 2021, and the article was put into JCPP Advances. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that is. That's just the note that I took. Norwegian mother, father, and child cohort. 26,613 kids. Short-term exposure, no. Long-term exposure, and that's 29 plus days, showed a raw association. But here's the interesting part, is that between family comparisons showed the between family comparison showed a hazard ratio of 2.77. Within the family comparison shrank down to 1.06. With a wide confidence interval that crossed 1. That gap between the two numbers is confounding, showing its work. Right? So once it actually got into looking at the actual family and the scenario and the stresses and the genetics and blah, 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 all of that shrank down to just about 1. In Japan, yeah, the UV once you get a tan, yeah. That one woman who likes using the light on her perineum. There were a few people that were doing that. Tan in the brown eye, as it were, right? In Japan, Pediatric and Perinatal Epidemiology in 2026, a nationwide birth cohort. It's cited directly in the new paper as part of the consistent null pattern across Norway, Sweden, and Japan. So yeah, what it found was pretty much the same thing as what Sweden did. JAMA Pediatrics out of Taiwan. And this one seems to be a bit of an honest wrinkle in all of the data. Over 2 million births, full cohort showed small positive associations. ADHD was 1.12, autism 1.06. But the sibling matched analysis gave inconsistent results depending on the analytic direction. The authors themselves said that prevents firm conclusions, and they flagged it as an unaddressed bias. But still, 1.12 and 1.06 are pretty close to the other numbers that we had looked at before. You tan the whole. There you go. I'm talking about this, and you guys are talking about bleaching assholes. That's how you know this is the community that we're in. That, or you guys also understand exactly how stupid the claim was. And off topic is the topic, exactly. By the way, I'm going to be introducing a new segment to the stream in a little bit here. I just kind of decided. So, anyway, 4 out of 5 sibling-controlled studies land on null, meaning 1.0. One is genuinely inconclusive, not a hidden gotcha, and the authors of it even say so themselves. So that's what the real convergence of evidence looks like, not, you know, a robotic, what's the word I'm looking for? Unanimity or something like that? I'm so surprised, right? But anyway, strong patterns with an honest asterisk on the one of them, right? That even they admit, okay, this is, you know, inconclusive, really. So, for those of you that did actually have any kind of a concern that I might actually say that there was data that proved that Tylenol caused autism, does knowing that not every single study agrees 100%, does that make it more or less trustworthy to you when you compare the bunch of them? Like, taking into account that all of them are compared against each other, and there was one that had the outstanding anomaly. Pretty much studies say it's a coinkydink. Yeah. It's the best conversation I've had with virus. Lost my voice. I will behave now? Did you forget where you are? Behave? Look at who the mods are, for Christ's sake. I did my research when it broke. If there's not at least one Aaron study, I start to wonder personally. Yeah, it's all. I think it's always kind of nice to have something out there that is a bit of an anomaly, right? Because it shows that there are different study methodologies that people use, and not just all the exact same copy paste canned research, right? It's helpful to see that they had different countries with different factors, but the numbers were close enough, and it shows us the opposite of it being true. Yep. The fact that there is one anomaly and the scientists said it's not a trustworthy result. Yeah, where even they said that, okay, this has a bias to it. A little gun shy when it comes to science after working in the vape industry for a decade plus. I feel like we've had that talk before. I never behave. We know. We know. Where are we at here? Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to introduce a brand new segment so that we can kind of take a moment, just have a bit of a breather, and take ourselves away from like all of the serious you know, the numbers and blah, blah, blah. No judging my graphics. I literally threw this together in 10 minutes. And now it's time for Moose News!
Seems legit.
All right, so this is the new little segment that I'm putting together. I call it Moose News. And it is just random bullshit that I found amusing that I thought that maybe some of you guys would get a chuckle out of. Some of it may or may not be related to, you know, the topic. But again, off topic is the topic. So let's start with an obvious one. Okay? A moose wandered into Bozeman, Montana in April of this year, took a nap directly outside of a radio station that was literally called The Moose. Wildlife officials confirmed that it was not bothering anyone and declined to intervene and just left it there. You're getting news about moose? Well, I mean, I could give you news about moose. I'll give you news about a moose. Sleeping dragon sounds. Well, there's that. Angle. Yeah. We disagree, kinda, maybe, lends credibility. Yep. Yeah, well, yeah, because again, they're not using the same rubber stamp, fucking copy-paste data to do it, right? To me, that shows legitimacy. Can you imagine being the only one reporting it and only to be ignored? Yeah. So there's that. So here's a little Canadian content for you. Ottawa put up bilingual posters. Now, Jay, with you being closest-ish to that area, maybe you can confirm or deny this. But a lot of these are based on some of the headlines that I just scraped really quick. There's a bar in North Bay called The Moose. There you go. Ottawa put up bilingual posters this month, promoting a public squares initiative. Jay, do you know anything about this? The French translation dropped one letter, and the signs went up reading pubic squares across Centertown. They were obviously taken down, but not before the internet got there first. Something I thought was fun. Leave wild animals alone if they aren't being dangerous. Oh yeah, are you kidding? Okay, I live in a city named after one of the fucking animals, for crying out loud. And we literally have families upon families upon families of deer and moose that live not only within the area, but in the city itself, in the green areas, in some of the forested areas, right? So across our main arteries, it is not uncommon to have traffic come to a standstill because a family of deer are crossing. That is not uncommon. My doorbell camera captured, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, a moose walking down my street and stopped to eat some of the cherries off of our tree because we have a little chokecherry tree out front. So yeah, a moose stopped in my front yard like 7 years ago and ate some of the cherries off my tree. It is not uncommon. It is very much a thing, and people do, I don't want to say 100%, but you don't hear, I don't think I've ever heard about anybody around here interfering with the deer or the moose or whatever, if they come out and go for a wander, right? People just slow, stop, let them cross, carry on their way. Okay, so here, ongoing wildlife celebrity saga. Neil the seal, a 2,200-pound elephant seal in Tasmania, so maybe the Aussies have heard about this one, has been repeatedly damaging boat bollards by using them as scratching posts. Officials are now publicly asking fans to respect his privacy. He does not respect anyone else's. Neil the seal is famous online, yep. Took a moose out of the playground and someone liked because it calved on the score. Would have been danger to kids that come on Monday. Yeah, if there's anything that we as Canucks can share without question is do not fuck with a moose. They are probably one of the scariest animals that we have up here. Do not fuck with a moose. Do not fuck with a moose that just calved. Like, seriously. That mama moose will eat your lunch. And destroy your car in the process. Look it up on YouTube. It happens. He left it without problems and he recently returned. Alright, we call this one Closed Loop Good Ending. A giraffe named Gracie escaped her Texas ranch and evaded capture for 2 weeks across terrain so remote it needed helicopters and drones to search. She was found safe near water, sedated, and driven home in a trailer. Happy ending, so it's safe to have fun with the middle part. And by that I mean make fun of the fact that, you know, they needed choppers and drones to find her. You heard about that one, did you? Moose are official founders of the Canadian Space Agency. Yes, they are. A California woman spent around $5,000 on billboard, taxi ads, and a website featuring her face to advertise for a boyfriend. She got about 4,000 applications, ended up meeting her now partner on a regular dating app anyway, after dropping $5,000 on billboards and taxi ads and a website. That 4,000 applications for $5,000. I mean, that's what? It's a buck. What'd that work out to? $1.12? $1.12 per, something like that? If I did my math right. It's illegal to tie a giraffe to a streetlight pole in Atlanta. There you go. All right, what else have we got here? An internet parenting culture exhibit A. An Arizona couple hired a dove release company for their gender reveal. Has anybody heard about this one? And specifically requested the doves be dyed blue. A local wildlife rehabber had to intervene because the bright blue birds stood out against the natural landscape and were, in her words, beacons for predators. Yeah, that's always my question when I hear something like that. Yeah, doves, Weasel. Doves. Oh, that is big time animal cruelty. Yeah, that was from NBC 12 in Arizona. That would be what it sounds like when doves cry. The Ottawa thing? I'll go back to it. It's really short. Ottawa put up bilingual posters this month promoting a public squares initiative. The French translation dropped one letter, and the signs went up reading pubic spaces across Centertown. Did you hear anything about that? Here's a story about instant karma. I thought doves were ridiculous for weddings. Yeah, color me not surprised. Instant karma. All I have to say is 3 words, and I'm pretty sure that you guys will just believe it's instant karma. A Florida man tried to impersonate a police officer and pulled over a car using fake emergency lights. The car he pulled over was an undercover sheriff's vehicle. It's Ottawa, so nobody cared. Yeah, Florida man, enough said. Yeah, that's some instant karma shit right there. A black bear wandered into a shopping mall on a military base in Alaska, ate exactly 1 peach, and left a mess on the floor before wandering back out. I guess that explains how he felt about his experience in that little shopping mall. All right. And we'll wrap it up with this before I get back to the get back to our main topic. The number of people who react poorly to the reveals, like, your child's gonna hate you later in life, whether to see the crash out of the fact you're having a boy and one other girl. Yeah, your son is gonna hate you. Way to go! Way to go! Way to go! Chefs in Japan, in Japan. This will be the last one because I can't speak anymore. Chefs in Japan are deliberately growing koji mold on bluefin tuna for up to 8 weeks, resulting in a thick white fur that gets scraped off before the fish is served raw as sashimi. That right there is why I don't have fucking... I hate sushi. But while it sounds like a crime scene, and it does to me, it's apparently delicious, they claim. I would never. Mostly because it's meat, cook it. Yeah, whatever. It's just a headline. Yeah, no. Just no. I don't need sushi as it is. Right? It's dead. It's meat. Cook it. That's all. End of story. Anyway, so, yeah, this has been Moose News. Oh, Lord. And now it's time for Moose News!
Seems legit.
Like I said, I put that together in 10 minutes, so I don't have an outro. Moose News we can use about the Strait of Hormuz, Part 2s. Yeah, I'm not going to go that far into the Colbert version of it. All right, so getting back to our original topic, that being about Tylenol not causing autism. Okay, so this is the negative control part. Okay. Just a heads up, I made a note on this that this segment can surface guilt. Either direction, parents who have used Tylenol and have a neurodivergent kid, or parents who avoided it and deal with untreated holy fuck with the words. Let's try that again. Parents who avoided it and dealt with untreated fever or pain, right? If that's the case, I apologize if I happen to bring up any guilt that anybody may or may not have about this. I just made a note of it that it could be a thing. So there's a new term that they're introducing here, confounding by indication. The reason someone needs the reason someone needed the medication might be the actual variable, not the medication itself. Let's have a little beverage here, shall we? And we are Moose. So I'm in favor of this segment. I got him to record that into my phone when I saw him, because I've been bugging him for like 6 months to send me a little clip of him saying, no, I did not, actually. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, when I saw him, I actually had him record that for me, because I've been bugging him to send me a little video, or an audio clip rather, of him just saying, seems legit, so that I could authentically use his voice in the, in that little clip. Which, again, I whipped together in 10 minutes, so if you're judging my graphic design stuff, 1, I challenge you to do better in 10 minutes, and 2, sorry, not sorry, it'll get better. Alright, 1 sec. Med time. No. No. And for Jay, a drink. There you go, dude. I got you covered. Okay, so again, new term, confounding by indication. Okay. So data from this exact study, moms who were prescribed paracetamol, again, Tylenol, acetaminophen, whatever have you, during pregnancy had the highest rates of psychiatric disorders, 7.2% versus 5.5%. They had the highest amount of infections, 59% versus 53%. chronic pain, and were more likely to be using NSAIDs, opioids, or antidepressants. Now, I don't know why I didn't write down what NSAIDs are. Anybody know what they are? I forgot to make a note of it for myself because I'm a dumbass. Anyway, here's the clever part of all of this, unlike me. The negative control analysis, okay? Researchers looked at paracetamol use in the year before pregnancy. A fetus that doesn't exist yet cannot be affected by a drug taken before conception. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. Thank you. Well, I knew they were drugs. I just forgot what kind they were. So moms had neurological things anyway, so it doesn't surprise me. They're kids too. But again, like I just said, researchers looked at paracetamol use in the year before the pregnancy, right? So again, a fetus that does not exist yet cannot be affected by a drug taken before conception. So this should be a clean null story, a 1.00 story, if it's really about the drug. What they actually found was pregnancy paracetamol. It predicted the autism rate at, or the autism hazard ratio at 1.12 and 1.24, so about double the rate there. And about double the rate of ADHD versus the autism, is what I'm saying there. 1.12 versus 1.24, which is almost identical to the numbers people were pointing to as proof of the drug causation. Right? Some people were like, they have it, again, not taking into consideration things like genetics, things like environment, things like family history, all of these other things that they should be taking into consideration. And they took none of it into consideration at all. So that's the whole argument in one data point. If Tylenol use before you're even pregnant predicts your future kid's diagnosis, the drug was never the fucking story. Again, it was things like genetics. People, I tell you. So that story is kind of, that's what kind of health situations leads a person to need Tylenol in general. Because it gives you a fucking headache just thinking about it. Honestly. So this isn't about blaming anybody's health condition. Right? This isn't about that either. It's about how research gets misread when that step gets skipped. Genetics and possibly other factors in the mother's environment. Exactly. I store the tism in my nuts. Well, apparently you and every other tism parent. Because if you knock up another tism haver, another tistic, you've got the, what is it, 84%? Duh. Another tistastic, exactly. So, and I'm not going to judge, I'm not going to say if it does or if it doesn't. But if this brings up something for you through your own experience, chat's open, as always, no pressure, zero obligation. And I apologize if I did bring anything like that up. This is why I didn't procreate. Well, that, and I mean, it's a scary fucking world out there, let's be honest. Okay, so let's look at the evidence quality across the field and why most prior reviews were weak, in a word. Stand to reason, wouldn't leaving your fever and untreated would be the worst for the fetus and the risk of autism. Even though, you would think so, right? Husband and I have kids who will definitely be neurodivergent. Well, you can't say definitely. You can say 80 and 76%, I think it was. You got very high odds. You got very, very high odds of it. Right? About 80% if both parents are tistastic. But they're fucking fantastic. Amen to that. Okay, so anyway, going back to the evidence quality across the field and why most of the prior reviews sucked ass, essentially. The citation is from an umbrella review of systematic reviews back in 25. So the umbrella review looks like all of the existing systematic reviews on a topic, and it grades their quality. Okay, this one found found most of the prior reviews on paracetamol, acetaminophen, Tylenol, and autism and /ADHD were low to critically low quality with heavy redundancy. Is anyone surprised by this? Because I'm not. So let me translate that for you. A lot of reviews were repackaging the same handful of flawed, pathetic misinformation in the primary studies over and over and over. So it can look like a mountain of evidence, right? But when it's really the same 6 studies, right? That's literally what it is. 6 different studies, basically wearing a different costume. Look at this mountain of evidence that we have about it. It's the same 6 things that are wrong. So this I'm going to give you, I'm going to call this the media literacy lesson for the night. 50 studies found a link, right? If you hear in the news, 50 studies found a link. It sounds compelling, doesn't it? It sounds informative. It sounds authoritative. Authoritative? Yeah. It sounds important anyway. But if those 50 studies are mostly citing each other and mostly built on the same underlying data, that's not 50 independent confirmations. That's like, I don't know. That's like 50 people just saying the exact same thing that Jared said. That's all it is. It's not 50 people doing their own homework. It's 50 people stealing Jared's homework. Essentially. So remember, quality beats quantity every time. I keep telling myself that too when it comes to music and writing and stuff like that. Yeah, Donnie's yes, man. Proper meta study needs to use the most recent studies, and not just the ones they like. Yes. High chance. Yep. How many of these studies were paid for by aspirin? Is that like Dunkin' Donuts saying Tim Hortons is shit? Dunkin' Donuts paid 50 places or 50 researchers to say that? Yeah, those 50 studies were actually study analyses. Most of them covered the same 8 small group studies. Exactly. Yeah. You seem like a fine fellow. I'm not sure I'd be cheating off you. Or cheating on you. Giggity. So, yeah, as I was saying about the quality beats quantity every time. Okay, so 5 well-designed sibling studies outweigh 50 shitty observational ones is essentially the takeaway from this. If they say we have 50 studies, but they're pointing at the same 5 things, it's those 5 things that outweigh the claim of 50 studies. Because you're just lying. Or dumb. Or one or the other. So have any of you guys seen this pattern anywhere else? Be it health claims, that look back, I can't even speak. Health claims or whatever that look like they were backed by tons of research. That exactly the same thing what am I trying to say here? I don't know. You ever seen this bullshit anywhere else? Let's just go there. Back to the vape thing. Yeah, there were lots of studies painting vape is bad for you, paid for by cigarette companies. Yep. That's actually a great example. While I don't have any of those studies handy, yeah, no, I totally get it. I heard all about those. Vaping is terrible for you. Well, I mean, ingesting anything to your lungs is probably not great. But I mean, the fact that I gave up, what, 6,000 or 7,000 carcinogens for, what, 4 food grade ingredients? Yeah. Among the actual studies, a number of small group studies, but then there's a shitload of study analyses, and then several meta-analyses that look at the study analyses, but we're still limited by the number and quality of the actual studies themselves. Yeah. Yeah. That one has 5 because salt. I mean, yes. Yeah, I never really thought about that. But yeah, those are 2 good examples right there. You get a lot of it in anti-vax circles. Well, yeah, because a lot of these people are looking at these study analyses that are looking at like 1 or 2 studies that claim that ivermectin is the thing that you should be taking. I had somebody in my fucking comments not that long ago. I think it was on a Facebook or an Instagram comment where somebody suggested I should use ivermectin. Huh? For MS? Are you fucking stupid? Don't answer that. I already know the answer. Like, for fucking real. I want to visit a Trevor project. I want to do research to get more backing. Yep. You know some people that took it for COVID? Yeah, I'm not going there. Basically somebody taking one person's homework, going through the encyclopedia, and basically copying, but finding their own evidence to back it up. Yeah, their own evidence based on incorrect information. Was your trampoline in the garage? Your trampoline was in the living room, wasn't it? Yeah, how about a bullet? Who, me? Take a bullet for MS? I'm not at that point yet. I mean, give me time. I'm only at 6.5 on the scale, man. People trying to put my Plaquenil. Oh, trying to buy your Plaquenil. I don't know what Plaquenil is. What is Plaquenil? Oh. Oh yeah, for your animals and shit, right? Sorry, I'm fucking total brain fart there. I'm like, why would you have that? Never mind. Yeah, we'll talk again at 10. No, we won't, because 10 is dead. We could talk at 9.5, maybe. Arthritis or... Oh, okay, okay. See, look at that. I learned something new today. Heard they got bullets at Walmart. Got excited. I ran there. Fine, it's a blender. Aha, I see what you did there. Will it get me high? No, it'll probably get you very low. Totally drop my inflammatory marker. Okay, well, see, I bet there's guaranteed scientific fucking research behind that says that. I bet there is a lot of actual, verifiable, peer-reviewed data that could back that up. And not just Uncle Jimbo on Facebook. They said it could cure COVID. Yeah. Yep. Your mommy drank a lot, didn't she? Yeah. And prevented. Uh-huh. Yep. All right. we will go over the practical takeaways, what all of this shit actually means, after we have our next self-care break here. So rare. People like me that needed it couldn't buy. Yeah, because all these other people were hoarding it for themselves, something that they thought was going to help, and I bet it turned out that it didn't. Kind of makes me think of all those people that hoarded all the toilet paper, which is ridiculous. You're gonna end up needing to wipe your ass anyway, so it's not like you were saving yourself or anything. Whatever. Stupid people. Doctors should have refused to yeah, well, see, this is where you get into the doctors that should not be doctors. That's a different topic entirely. But yeah, you're right. Doctors should have refused. The good doctors should have refused to write the scripts for it. Threw hasty fits when the stores wouldn't return it. Yeah. What store in their right mind is going to take back a whole bunch of hoarded ass wipe? Anyway, self-care break. Grab some water. Get a snack. Take some toilet paper and go wipe your nose. I don't know.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I got nothing. I'm just cute.
Feel it coming, 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 feel it coming. We keep moving all night. Keep it to the right, then we to the left. We keep keeping all night. Move it to the right, then we move it to the left. We keep moving all night. Back to the night sound. Back to the night sound. In a circle, there's only motion. Don't need the light or my night sound. Back to night sound. Back to the night sound. Back to night sound. Back to the night sound. Back to the night sound. Stepping back from the edge. 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 Back to the night sound. Bumping through the ground. In the night. Move in the night. We groove. Feel the pressure.
Hey, fuck you!
You hear the sound.
Alrighty. That was good for a couple little cracker snacks that I stole off my kid. Hey, honey, can you bring me some of your cracker snacks? Num. Alright, let's power through this last part here real quick. Well, hi, Chris. Let's power through this last part here. Practical takeaway. What does all this mean? Apparently, Chris showed up just for the encore. Alright? Remember, kids, this is not medical advice. This is what the current evidence supports. Full stop. Should a human being, but excellent judge of character. I took a nap. We'll put it back. It's not nice to take things that aren't yours. Okay, so major medical bodies still list paracetamol, acetaminophen, acid muffins, Tylenol, whatever you want to call it, as the first line option for pain and fever in pregnancy over NSAIDs, over opioids, which carry their own well-documented risks, including the effects on fetal development and neonatal withdrawal and things like that. Untreated fever and untreated pain during pregnancy, they're not risk-free things either, right? Avoid everything isn't automatically the safer choice. Whiskey, I mean, probably not. You never heard that, V? That's what my wife called, because my wife can't pronounce acetaminophen. So she just defaulted to acid muffins. I'm surprised you never heard that before. I've been telling that story for God, how long, guys? 2 or 3 years now? But the point of the entire stream here today isn't never worry about anything. It's that this specific fear at this evidence level isn't supported by the best available research. So if somebody made a different choice based on the headlines, they saw that, and that was a reasonable response, okay? It was a reasonable response to the available information that they had at the time. That's not a mistake to carry guilt over, so if any of what I said happens to strike a chord with you, we're not here to judge, okay? Are there any questions about any of the data that we went over? I don't worry about shit I don't have any control over. It's freed my life up amazingly. Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to, well, let me rephrase that. It's actually easy to stress about something that you can't control. But just the knowledge that you cannot control these things and not making a big deal about them, I guess. Yeah, oddly enough, I'm leaning more and more and more into that camp. I can't imagine why that would be. He looks at his 6.5 on the chart. I can't imagine why that would be, but yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't have control over anything, so my life should be wondrous and carefree. You know, you would think, but in the same way that you don't have any control in an authoritarian state, you would wonder why there aren't more carefree and wondrous people down south. When you hit 8, want to do hard drugs? I mean, I might consider it. What is 8, actually? Let me just have a little wander here over to our good friend Gemini. EDSS scale. What is 8? Now remember, this EDSS scale for MS is a thing, and I only learned about it recently. Essentially restricted bed or a chair, being pushed or being pushed in a wheelchair, may be out of bed much of the day, retain many self-care functions, generally has effective use of arms. That's what 8 is. So, maybe? 8 to 0 with a belt. Yes, it is. Or infinity that got knocked over. 8.5, essentially restricted to bed for much of the day, has effective use of arms, retains some self-care functions. When I hit 9, absolutely. When I hit 9, can find a bed, can still communicate and eat. When I hit 9, yeah. You and I are doing all the blow we can find. Yeah, it stood back up, yeah. I'm an 8 plus a little better. 8, essentially restricted to bed or chair or being pushed in a wheelchair, maybe out of bed much of the day, retain many self-care functions, generalized effective use of arms. Yeah. No, I'm at 6.5. If it gets worse, I am over it. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so I'm not seeing any questions about it. Alright, well, I guess with that in mind, what are the 3 things, as always, that I want you guys to take away from today? The largest, most rigorous studies we have, sibling matched, literally hundreds of thousands to millions of kids, consistently show no causal link between prenatal Tylenol and autism or ADHD. Shall I say that again for the people in the back? For if I do happen to clip this and use this? Yeah, let's do that. The largest, most rigorous studies that we have, sibling matched, hundreds of thousands to millions of kids, consistently show no causal link between prenatal Tylenol and autism or ADHD. Stop lying to the people and fear-mongering, you fucking couch-faced dumbass. Attach a leash to the brainworm and take him for a walk. And let me know. I'll find a way to. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking about that. Number 2. Okay. The apparent link in regular studies is a textbook confounding pattern proven by the fact that even pre-pregnancy use showed the same association. So remember, if you took Tylenol before you got pregnant and then ended up pregnant afterwards, that is not a marker that says Tylenol causes autism. What that's a marker of is mommy had a fucking headache before somebody knocked her up. You shut up and let the brain work. Yeah, it had a higher IQ. Number 3. Genetics does the overwhelming majority of the explanatory work for both conditions. Full fucking stop. Again, genetics does the overwhelming majority of the explanatory work for both conditions. And that part is worth sitting on all by its own, Tylenol or not. Tylenol causes pregnancy? No, sperm causes pregnancy. Sometimes. I mean, Tylenol could lead to pregnancy if mom said she had a headache and dad said, here's a Tylenol. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying. Again, for anybody who does want the actual sources, citations, and all that shit that we use, if you are on YouTube, they're in the description. They're pinned there. If you're on Twitch, sorry, I did not pin them there because I've got a lot to go through. But if you do want them, DM me and I will send all of them to you. Headaches prevent sex. Well, headaches generally are not all the time, but more often than not can be cured by it. Anyway. My kids aren't mine. There's 13 got knocked up by Tylenol. Yes. If the mom has chronic pain, she definitely took meds to help. I can't prove it, but I think they don't want pregnant people to be comfortable in anything, so they fearmonger them into not taking anything. I'm waiting for them to say epidurals cause it at some point, too. I mean, maybe. Not according to your lady. I mean, fair enough. Yeah. I'm not going there. I'm not saying anything further about that. Let me see here. Okay, so just something to note about that Taiwan study that was the anomaly of the bunch was the asterisks in the chart. And it's an honest asterisk. It's not a hidden contradiction, okay? The Taiwan authors themselves said that their sibling analysis was inconclusive due to unaddressed biases that they had. 4 out of 5 large sibling-controlled studies landed on that null point of 1.0 or in that area, 1.06 to 1.12 kind of thing. They landed in that area. One didn't reach a firm conclusion either way. So that's not what real evidence looks like per se. Or I'm sorry, what I meant was that is what real evidence looks like, right? It's not perfect. It's not perfectly aligned across all of those studies. So like we had said before, it's kind of relieving to me and to a few others, obviously, to think that of these 5 big studies that happened, right? One of them had an anomaly and the other 4 were not copy-paste little rubber stamps of each other, right? They were different studies with a different number of people, different conditions, up to millions of kids, between hundreds of thousands and millions of kids, and they all found different results. So, Juicy Magoo! Fitty, hey, baby. Hey, dude, what's going on? Lucky for us, the younger generation wants nothing to do with having children, so Tylenol for everybody. Well, I mean, really, you wanna bring a kid into this world at this point? Good Christ. Oh, copy paste and rubber stamping. One of the other questions in here was, does the study capture over-the-counter Tylenol use or just the prescriptions? Just prescriptions through the Hong Kong's public health system. Over-the-counter and private prescriptions weren't captured, which means some exposure was likely missed. The authors note this. Yeah, they note this as a kind of measurement error that would bias results. They would actually bias it towards, not away from. If it's not the Tylenol, why do autism and ADHD diagnoses rates keep rising? Well, let me tell you. It's to do with that's why we had kiddo. Outside the scope of all of the study from today, but broadly, the research points to expanding diagnostic criteria, which is something that we have been going on about for, I don't know, 5 years now, is the fact that we have better awareness, we have better screenings, we have reducing stigma, yeah, less stigma around seeking an evaluation, things like that. Same reason you keep getting new stars, our telescopes keep getting better, right? It's like those, I'm gonna pick on the boomers, but when they say, oh, this wasn't around in my era, well, yeah, it was. We just didn't have the diagnostic screening and the information that we have now. It's like Jared pointed out, it's for the same reason that, how come there are more stars and galaxies out there than when I was a kid? No, it was the same number, you just couldn't see them. How about a study about pregnant women consuming caffeine causing ADHD? Probably be the same way, or better, or maybe meat or bread or using toilet paper. Well, we did talk about wiping our asses, so. My Canadian Tire has 50-cent herbs. I brought one home, told my mom they had 50-cent Mr. Herbs, and we didn't see how long it takes her to realize it's catnip. Bidet all day, baby. Bidet all day. There we go. Magically developed it in your 40s. Never had it before. That's right. You never had it before. It just showed up on your doorstep in a pretty orange bow and said, here, Jay, this is for you. But I don't want it. Well, too bad. Too bad, so sad. And again, if anybody wants to know, where can I read the actual study myself? For those of you that are study nerds, kind of like I sort of am. Again, the full citation list is in the description on YouTube. If you want it for yourself, DM me. I will happily send you all of the sources that I pulled from today. Grandfather just really likes salt and pepper shakers. My grandfather was really into trains. Like, worked for CN, really into trains. Like, was the best logistics manager that his rail yard had ever had, and probably one of the best in his entire region, was really into trains. Yeah, we'll go with that. If I DM you, will you send me feet pics? Maybe. I can't guarantee they will be mine, or that they will be feet. Sorry, mine took a hard right there. Wow. Oh yeah, he was... Okay, little story about my grandfather. And one of the main reasons that I thought that he was autistic. Just for after call. Try and get a picture. What, you'd send me pics? Test that at your own risk. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so here's a story about my grandfather being the rail yard logistics manager. Okay, once upon a time, and this is way back before they were doing doing any of this on computer. Okay, so this was, you know, they had it written down in their logbooks. Okay, in his logbook, there was, what was it? The car was there or the car was not there? I'm trying to remember this. I think it was the car was there, but it was not listed in the logbook. No, it's the other way around. The car was not there. No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, the car was there, but it was not in the logbook. Therefore, to him, it was not there. Right? So, like, they had tried to move it out of the yard. Or they had tried to do some kind of a transfer with it. But it couldn't happen because he didn't have the paperwork for it. Right? So he was so absolutely methodical that this car did not exist, like, in the grand scheme of things, because it was not on paper, right? And this turned into a giant fucking ordeal at the time, I guess. I don't remember all of the details of the story, but yeah, he made such a big deal about this that it affected a supply line for a week because of this fuck up in a car that somebody else fucked up and did not do the appropriate paperwork for. May have a shirt that says, warning me spontaneously talk about trains. I love that. I like trains, yeah. A guy named Richard or a guy's named Dick. Too late. Oh no, be careful when Jay tells you he's going to send you a dick pic. You're going to end up with Dick Van Dyke, Richard Nixon, you know, things like that. You're going to end up with a bunch of them. I'm just saying. Be careful when Jay says he's going to send you dick pics. You know, Dick Van Patten, Dick Van Dyke, Dick Clark. Hey, Dickle the Demon. There you go. All right, so did I have... I'm trying to find on my list here, because I did have plans for Sunday's stream, just to give you a little heads up. Where did I put it? My list here. Now that's about the Taiwan study. Oh yes, Sunday. Sunday. Jay, you're gonna love this one. There is a study that was just released 7 days ago in Frontiers in Psychology. It is a mini review. It is open access, so it's available to all. And it is about, and this is what Sunday's topic is going to be, it is about music-based interventions and ADHD. So that's what Sunday is going to be about. They studied me. How was I not even aware of this? I mean, I've got nothing. Oh. Just about got you, bitch. I would say that counts as a deflection. Maybe even a parry. But yeah, that's what Sunday is going to be about. Again, reminder for those of you that are active Corrosion fans, fourth album called Capacity comes out on July 24th. After that, I will be looking at putting out the next Dark Side album, Revenge Part 2. I don't have a date for that yet. It'll probably be in late August. And then after that, I've got a Taylor Drive album that's coming out in September, or at least an EP, one or the other. So depending on busyness, I'll be here. Gotcha, yeah, because you're Because you're working. Yep. Gotcha. Gotcha. I understand. It's all good. And what the hell, for shits and giggles. And now it's time for Moose News.
Seems legit.
There you go. All right, a little bit more moose news for you. Okay, so here's a little escape artist story for you. Zeus the zebra, a private-owned zebra in Lincoln, California, keeps getting loose from his enclosure. Multiple escapes this year. Most recently, he wandered onto a rural road, and when officers showed up with portable panels, he cooperatively walked himself into the trailer without a fuss. A neighbor is quoted as saying, "At first I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He is a repeat offender with zero chill about being caught." So there you go. Quick little piece for you. A giraffe at Disney World's Kilimanjaro Safaris ride recently planted itself in the middle of a road and simply refused to move for nearly 4 minutes, stopping every truck behind it. Then it walked up to one of the trucks, stuck its head inside, licked a couple of passengers, posed for a photo, and sauntered off whenever it felt like. Disney's official policy in this situation is to do nothing and wait. And this is from a viral Reddit clip via the Disney fan sites. And one more on the Moose News. Researchers ran a 2026 urban experiment teaching crows to trade cigarette butts for peanuts using a vending machine. The crows figured out they could snap one butt into 3 smaller pieces to get 3 peanuts instead of 1. Crows are fucking smart animals. They basically discovered the inflation arbitrage. So, yeah. If crows can figure out inflation. Oh, crows and like corvids of all types are super goddamn smart. And this is where we come up with the joke of my wife rounding up all of the magpies in the neighborhood, and that's her magpie army. Yeah. Because she keeps going out and feeding them and making sure that they are taken care of. Right? Yeah. So, again, I don't have an outro for it, but... And now it's time for Moose News!
Seems legit.
Sponsored by Schuster and Mooster, attorneys at law. There you go. Now you know, and now you're a little smarter than, well, I am, perhaps, I guess. I don't know. We have what we call our autistic magpie in our local area. Oh, by the way.
I'm JP Schuster. And I'm CB Mooster. And we're here to fight for you.
Atrocities at law. Oh my. Be careful about that. They'll fucking get you. Clickety click, barb a trick. But various groups of crows are in the Stone Age actually crafting tool and with twine. Yeah. The guy who was training subject bird, I don't remember which, eat peanuts out of the top of his hat. I have seen a couple of videos of people. One is she in Scotland? Yeah, I think there's this lady in Scotland who's got like a really big fucking black crow. And I can't remember its name, but she has a few videos of it. And, talking back and forth and stuff. There's another guy somewhere in the UK, I believe. And, he's got his crow flies all over the place. But, he's got a trend to come back to him. Whatever. When he tells it to, it'll land on his arm, land on his shoulder, or whatever. And sit there and converse with him. They're very interesting. Another bird's name is something. Yeah. Of course, brain fog. I can't think of what it is. Sure it's not a raven. Or if it's a really big crow. It's probably a raven. Yeah, no, the two I'm thinking of, they are ravens. Yeah. Whatever. I've given up shitting on myself for forgetting details like that because I've met me and I know where I'm at. So yeah, there's that. There do be that. What the fuck? For some reason, they fledged during late autumn, so they're losing their baby feathers. Their siblings warble beautifully in the morning. One can't fly. It sounds like it's gargling a dick. Put trees in the tubes and brew. Fable, yeah, that's the one. Fable, that's the one. As for whether she's the one that puts treats in the tube, I don't know. If so, I don't think I saw those videos. But yeah, I did see the ones where, well, I saw numerous of them. I actually went scrolling on down her page for a little while. Yeah, very interesting. She's got some kind of a great little cage set up for them. We call it our autistic magpie. Fable is a rescue or the offspring of one. I think you're right. Yeah, something like that. It's a pretty heartwarming and endearing story. Some of the ones behind it, behind like that one and the other guy that I can't think of any of their names, where they're either rescues or they were saved by that person, kind of thing, or the offspring of one, or what have you. Yeah, definitely pretty endearing. Wings and Wildlands. Thank you. Yeah, very cool. Very cool stuff. Yeah, if you wanna have a peek at something that'll kind of warm your heart a little bit, I invite you to check that out, because that's kind of an awesome thing. Where are we here? Here we are with the things and the stuff and the place where the people are. Clickety click. Barber trick, bitches. Hang on. Gotta find the... Oop, there we go. Sorry, don't mind me just jumping around a couple of things there. I went to officers yesterday. How to know your housemate autism is showing. I'm at the register paying. She's at the pens. Trying to put them all back where they belong because order matters. Agreed. Agreed. Alright, so tomorrow, for those that are interested in listening to a certain little voice actor voice act all of the lines in Deltarune, if you're interested in that, there's Jace's channel if you want to have a gander or say hi. She's pretty comical. She's definitely pretty amusing when she if she's feeling up to it. We'll see how she feels tomorrow, of course, because if my kid is not feeling great, then yeah, she'll probably have a sleep again, but she seems to be doing better today, so that's good, as opposed to last night. Yeah, well, I pointed that out earlier, and I was trying to get you to do it, but that was when you got hit with, like, the 3 customers at once kind of thing. Gotta run. Hey, Peter, it's all good. Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate ya. And everybody else who is in the hoose. So hopefully everybody can have a great rest of their day. And if I don't see you before Sunday, because I'm going to bounce on out of here too. When we used to live up near Atlanta when I was in the back room, watching TV, 4 to 5 big ass ravens that would show up in the yard. They didn't show up for anyone else in the family, just me. Never tried to go outside with them there, or go outside and wait for them to show up. But it was pretty cool how they'd show up outside the way. Nice. Nice. Family thought it was crazy until it finally got big. Nice. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to probably start working on dinner for the kid and I, figure out what we're going to be doing from there. Again, thanks, Gemini, I think, for topping this up. Anybody else who feels like they're so inclined, awesome. If you don't, I still love you and appreciate the shit out of you. Remember, I'm going to be taking the next couple days off with Substack. I will be getting back there on Monday, I think. And yeah, other than that, what do we talk about? New music coming out. Remember, the new book is out, Standard Procedure, little short story if you want to read that. I just finished getting all of the voice work done for the audio book. Now I have to put all the sound effects together, all the score in the background and all of that shit. And yeah. Again, if you guys want to get any of the sources that I talked about today, DM me and I will happily send them all to you. Or if you're feeling so inclined, just go grab all of them off of the YouTube description, because they're all over there. And maybe on Sunday, maybe I'll actually stream to Facebook. So there you go. Anyway, I'm a bounce. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here. I love all of you. I appreciate the shit out of you hanging out here. You guys could be anywhere else watching any other dumbass, but you picked me for some reason. So I question your mental sanity. I really do. Oh well. For a good time, DMJ. That's a good one. I think that's more of a hashtag than a command, but there you go. Anyway, until Sunday, drink your water, take your meds, be kind to yourself. I question it all the time too. Not as much as I do. Anyway, drink your water, take your meds, be kind to yourself, and I will catch you kids on the flip side. See you in the Discord or here on Sunday. Okay, ciao for now. Oh, hey, stick around. We'll go raid Dan.
Look at us, same room, same air. You could be anywhere, but you showed up here. Every laugh, every tired eye means more to me than I can explain tonight.